The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
There you go. What's up? Welcome to Creative Emotions. I am your host, Vaquita Q. Taylor, and welcome. What you can expect on the show is motivation, encouragement, information, empowerment, inspiration, transparency, and these good vibes. Ain't nothing you can do about that, okay? You're going to get them whether you like it or not. Today is Red Shirt Wednesday, you know. What's that? Oh. Yeah, that little disclaimer. But I want you to share this. This is the time to make sure you share with your family and your friends. Thank you guys for your support. Again, for my first book, I Want My Own Husband, Mindset and Standards on Marriage. If you have not gotten your copy, you can get your copy on www.thecreativeemotions.com. It's a really good read. It's only $15. Say only $15.
Only $15.
Yes. Listen. It is a really, really good read. And you can get it from me personally. So if you reach out, I got you. I want to remind you guys of Poetry and Conversation. I started it back up for 2025. Listen, a whole vibe. If you have not experienced it, Miles, you make sure you get in the building. Yeah, I just put them on blast. Make sure you get in the building. April 19th will be the second one. It will be the one for April. It's once a month. And so April 19th, it will be the next Poetry and Conversations at 21573 Grand River. It is $15 before 9 o'clock and $20 after. It is just a beautiful experience. So I encourage you to, just come. I have a skating party that my family is sponsoring. It is April 17th. It is at Northland Skating Rink. The tickets are $10. We are trying to keep our families together by having Thanksgiving. And so we're trying to get a hall. So it's for a really good cause. And so if you guys are all about family, make sure you come on out to Northland Skating Rink April 17th for family support. And I just want to say, for station identification, Holy Spirit, come in the room. Holy Spirit, come on in. Come on in the room. Today's show is about support. The question I have is, do you support others? How much does it cost? Did you think about that? How much does support really cost? Do it cost you anything? Do it cost you anything to do a share, to word of mouth? Like, certain things don't cost, but are you supporting people? Do you want to be supported? And so these are the questions that we're going to talk about. Support is defined as backing, aiding, assisting, helping, bolstering, promoting, endorsing, encouraging, and advocating. So in any of those ways, are you supporting? Do you have somebody that you're supporting? I have a guest that is doing her first appearance on a podcast. I'm so excited. But as she usually dominates in the background, I picked this woman because she's the epitome of support, service, and the pillar of the family structure from what I noticed from the outside looking in. Who better to talk about support than Miss Kelly Kennedy Isaac? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Nervous, but excited to be here.
Don't be nervous. Again, she always in the background, so that's a real thing to be nervous. I want to welcome you to the show. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
That is putting me on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I stay in the background. I I am married almost 26 years to a wonderful man named Jadarius Isaac. I have 2 wonderful boys. They are both at Wayne State. Devin is 23, Donovan is 18, and I am a supporter of family and friends.
Yeah.
Very active. Like with my family and friends, got a new opportunity to work on an event at my church, Galilee Missionary Baptist Church. I am doing a Black Business Expo, working on a Black Business Expo May 17th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
We are looking for Black small businesses. We are looking for merchants to sell. I want to shop Black, buy Black on that day. We are looking for merchants and people to come out on that day. That is May 17th from 10 to 3. If you are interested in being a vendor, please call 313-484-8347. That's 313-484-8347. Tables are available.
How much are the tables?
Tables are $100.
Okay.
All vendor proceeds go to HBCU bound students.
That is what's up. And that's what we should be doing in our churches, okay? We should be keeping our money circulating, not just going to one thing or just a building. We should definitely be pouring into our communities. And so that is an amazing opportunity to bring your local businesses out. You know, local small businesses, food trucks, activities for all ages. And we're talking about support. What better time, right, to talk about support? But just a little personal about yourself. Not only did you support your children, right, and the teams that they were on and everything that they did, you know, how important is that? Like, just supporting our children, because you have 2 sons that are where?
They're at Wayne State.
2 sons at Wayne State. That is amazing. But your support took them a long way. And so, was that just all the way, like, always just in you? Is this something that you wanted them to see? Is that something that you witnessed yourself?
I am a Kennedy.
Okay.
My maiden name is Kennedy, and our family is all about support.
Okay.
People call us spoiled from time to time, but it's not necessarily that we're spoiled. It's just our family supports. We believe in support.
Yeah.
When we look over our shoulder, there is always a family member there to support us in everything that we do. You say, did it come natural?
Yeah.
I guess so. It came natural because that's what my family did. My oldest son wrestled, and I became the wrestling mom. And people ask, well, which child is yours? I would just say all of them. Because if one was on the floor on my team, it was my team. If one was on the floor from the school, I was on the mat, close to the mat, cheering them on.
Wow.
Win or lose. And folks need that support. Folks need to look over their shoulder and know that someone is in their corner.
Somebody is there.
Somebody is there, that you can look out into a crowd and see a smile, and it is someone there for you.
Yeah, that's real.
Big or small, they need that. And
so you didn't feel any obligation. You just felt like it was a natural thing because of how you were raised and the family dynamic that you have?
Correct. Natural thing and the right thing.
That's good. We need more of that.
You know, you see through the schools, you see a lot of kids showing up for different events, and it's just the kid.
Yeah.
So
with nobody there?
Yeah. Who's going to be there to cheer them on? Who's going to be there to say you did a good job? You have parents showing up to pick their kids up after the event and asking them, how was the event?
Yeah.
And not being there to actually see it. And it's a wonderful thing. I'm walking in the grocery store. My kids are out of high school now.
Yeah.
Walking in the grocery store, and kids are walking up to me, adults. They're not kids
because they remember
anymore.
you.
Walking up, hugging me, having conversation. Yeah, it's a good thing.
That's huge.
And And I still show up and support. If they're doing something, they tell me about it, text me, I'm coming.
So that's it's just a lifelong thing. We want to acknowledge everyone that's watching. Shout out to Podcastic. Great platform. If you are looking to have your own podcast, you make sure you check out Mr. Mouse. But shout out to those that are watching. This is a question about, do you support other people, and what does that look like? Shout out to those that are watching. Frida Givens, I'm so excited to be here this evening.
622 Wise.
I can't wait to hear from my sister Kelly. Yes, she is the epitome of support. I know I used the right word. Tracy Birch is watching. She sent some hearts. Frida Givens said, love the Kennedys. Dietrich Clark, yes. Kelly, yes. Okay.
My ASU family.
Yes, that's what's up. That's what it's about, support, because you know, she be there for everybody else. And so what would you say to mothers that are sacrificing to support their children? They don't feel appreciated, for their efforts. Because at times doing this, our children can be a little ungrateful sometimes. But what advice or encouragement would you give a mother that's sacrificing to make this impression and leave this impression on their children?
Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment.
Yeah.
Looking for that gratitude right at that time. Mm-hmm. You may or you may not get it, but that moment when they can come back and talk to you about you being there, seeing your smile, hearing your encouragement, giving them words to lift them up, or correcting them when they're out there wilding out.
Yeah.
You're raising an adult. You have to be there. I don't know about looking for a place where I needed their response.
Okay.
It was just a space that I was in, happy to be there, and just glad that God gave me granted me those two.
Happy to serve.
To be a part of my life. Yeah.
That's good. What would you say to wives that are balancing, teenagers have busy lives. Let's just be honest, right?
Yes, they do.
And at times it is a sacrifice. You're actually sacrificing to, get your kids in different programs to have different opportunities. But you may be a mother and a wife, right? You got a husband. You may have other obligations. And so with that being your life and your story, what would you tell a mother that's trying to balance it all, just have time with their husband, time with the kids, making sure the food and the dinners and all these type of things? People need, some encouragement in that arena. So what would you say?
I would say, that's a good question. We chose that life. We did. Being married for almost 26 years.
Ooh, give it up.
It's a balance. It's frustrating sometimes. It's rewarding sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to find the spouse that's going to work with you.
Yeah.
It is not.
Definitely need that.
And for me, having two boys in wrestling, football, baseball, soccer, and you're battling, and then you got a husband that is out of the country, out of the state, just bouncing around.
Yeah.
You lean on your village.
Okay.
You have to lean on your village. You have to accept the help that is offered.
That's good.
And sometimes it's not help there, and you just have to figure it out. It's exhausting but rewarding.
It is.
It is a great reward. And for me, I did not realize that I was really working through as hard as I was working when I was working. It was after you've seen the results. After they left the house, I looked up and I was like, where'd all this time come from? But it was...
They had you busy.
It was, you go to work, you figure out what to cook, how to feed them on the way there to another event.
Yeah.
And, you have a plan. You're doing all of their activities, but you're raising young boys to be young men.
Yeah.
To understand the need for family, to understand they need to be there to support the next generation.
That is true.
So, I know our husbands are here for a lot of stuff to lead the house, but we sit in that chair.
Yeah.
to be. We actually
To
sit
manage.
in the seat.
Yeah.
My grandmother said to me one time, "Baby, you're gonna have to learn how to drive that car from the passenger seat." And that means you're gonna have to be able to instruct your man, your husband, and give guidance to those young people in the back seat.
Hardest job ever.
So it's a lot, but it is rewarding.
I agree.
Is.
So you are a empty nester right now, and if you're just joining, we're talking about support. You know, we're getting into it, but I have my guest, Miss Kelly, and this is a live call-in show. What's this number? What's this TV number? 810-560-0658. It is on the screen if you want to call in. This is a live call-in show, but we're talking about support. And do you support other people? I brought Miss Kelly on because she is the epitome of support. When I say I see her, any event that we have, somebody can be selling something and she like, oh, I want one. You know, we were in a at the nail shop, and this lady was saying that she wanted to start her business with her oils, and she was like, "Oh, you know, I haven't started it, but I want to start it." So Kelly like, "Oh, give me one." Before this lady even got, before she even had like the tangible thing, she's buying it, she's supporting it. And that right there was just like, wow, that's huge. So guess what? I had to buy one too. I'm like, okay, give me one. I don't even know what it smelled like. You could have been like, whatever. She did have one. She had a sample. But that's the type of quickness we need to have when it comes to supporting our brothers and sisters, even if it's something that you don't patronize. Maybe you can give it away, sell it, like whatever it is. Normally, like when I sell my book, I'll be telling people, please read it, even though it's like buy. I want y'all to read it. I want you to actually read it and get something from it. But we're talking about support and actually what does it look like? It's different for everybody, right? So my question is, do you support? So when you look at Mark, we're going to switch gears a little bit because I want to get back to your empty nesting that you are in right now. When you think about Mark 2, 3, and 5, and I'm going to read from the NIV version. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door. So just think about that. Think about how packed this is. And he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. That right there, I almost jumped out my seat early when I was reading this. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it and then lowered the mat that the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, son, your sins are forgiven. So just think about that. Like it's so many things to unpack in this. And I'm talking about support, right? You have 4 brothers that seen this man paralyzed, whether in his body, in his mind, whatever it is, he couldn't move. They dug a hole. Just look up in the roof right now. They dug a hole in the roof, took a mat, so they had to have some type of rope, right? Lowered him down just so he could be touched by Jesus. Now tell me that ain't support. Tell me that ain't support. That's the type of support that we need, okay? When you see your sisters and brothers are down, when you see they are in need, when you see mentally they posting different things on social media, when you don't see them in church, or when you don't see them in different places where you gather often, this is the time to check on those brothers and sisters. This is the time to see if a business is struggling. You call them and say, hey, is there something I can do to help you? These brothers tore a hole in the roof and lowered this man on a mat just so he can be touched by Jesus because it was so crowded in the room. It's so many ways to look at this. When you think about, everybody says, oh, I don't want to do that because it's flooded, or it's so many people that's doing this, or it's so many people that's doing that, or it's already so many businesses doing this. Listen, what is for you is for you, and what it is you're supposed to do, you should be able to get the download on what you need, the instructions on what you need to do it. And so when you think about this, all these people in the room, But this man still got in there, okay? He still got in there to get what he need. And so when you think about support, you can literally save somebody's life. Literally and figuratively, when you think about the business aspect of it. How many times have you got down and dirty for somebody else? And so we're talking about support and what that looked like. So nowadays, more than often, people are a little self-centered.
So stay right there. Stay right there. Because what you said was it was 4 men. It was 4 men that lowered 1 man down in there. So it was 4 men. So this wasn't a little fella. This was a big fella.
It had to be.
It took 4 men. It wasn't 2 people, 2 men standing on one and lowering 1 man in. It was 4 men. So this was a big fella.
It had to be.
That came with a lot of burdens, a lot of weight to be lowered in.
To be lowered.
I've never heard that story that way. I've heard the story. I know the story.
When you read it sometimes.
But I've never thought of it like that. That was a man with a lot of burdens, a lot of weight to
paralyzed.
be paralyzed.
He was paralyzed
by whatever he had gone through.
Yep.
Whatever he had gone through. He had. I'm just saying that was
Think
a big.
About you sitting in the ceiling falling apart.
It was 4 people, and they dug a hole to put this 1 man.
Yeah.
They loved that 1 man enough to put him in.
Yeah.
He had 4 family members, friends, whatever, that loved him enough to get him to Jesus.
Take him on down in there. And Jesus didn't even look at the man first.
Right.
He looked at the 4 men like,
right,
brother, your sins is forgiven.
They had tore this roof up to get you down here. They believing in you. Come get on up. Get up.
Get up. You done. You done with being the victim. Okay, we're talking about support. We're talking about support and what that looked like. Shout out to everybody that's watching. DK say yes, ladies. Dietrich Clark, Kelly naturally supports everyone. It matters, as this is one of the characteristics of a believer. She walks the walk. I know that's right. Okay. Because y'all straight supporting her right now. And that's what it's about.
I would tell you, I don't wake up thinking about how I'm going to support. I know that there is always going to be opportunities to support.
Always a need.
Not only my kids, my friends, my family. It is what I would, if I had to choose a superpower, I would say my support is one of my superpowers. I do. I love to see the smile. I don't look for, anything back. I love to help people, to support people, to encourage people. I randomly call people. If I think of you, I will randomly call you and just say, hey.
Like, hey, how you doing? We need to get back to that.
And I don't know what's going on in your mind. I'm not looking for anything. I just want you to know that I thought of you today.
Yeah. And we need to get back to that. Seriously.
And some people don't get what I am finding with some people is they don't get phone calls.
No. Everything is on social media.
Yeah.
People say happy birthday on social media. What if you don't see it that day? People don't call no more. It's less communication. And and more times than not, it's a little self-centeredness that we as a people, especially believers, we have to get out of that mindset. It didn't used to be that way. It was more of a village, more family support. I remember my grandmother used to have us in the basement. She had 1 2-bedroom house, 2 or 3 bedrooms. The whole family was in there.
That's how we
now it's like nobody can get together unless it's like elaborate or we need more space. And it's like we didn't used to need more space. I don't know. But support can be a visit, a call, an encouraging word, a like, a share, showing up to an event, just purchasing merchandise. It could be anything. And as I was stating, like I seen you do this often. But that's why when you know that things come back to you, what you put out in this earth, you do it without thinking about it, without any regard. God is gonna bless you. There's no doubt about it. And so it's not that you're doing it because of that, but that's the reward.
I I don't know what the $10, the $20, the $25 means to that person that is standing there with their item that they've worked very, very hard, and they put some time in it, and they're standing there. One, it takes courage to stand up and say, I have something to sell.
Yeah.
That is not...
It ain't easy.
It's not easy.
Because you get rejected.
Because you get more no's than you do yeses. And it doesn't... That same money that you give to a stranger, a fast food restaurant, not calling any names, but you give your money away, you just randomly give your money away. So why not give it away to someone that it will be a blessing or a benefit to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's huge.
So, I mean, I do. I will support a small business, someone that is trying, somebody that is making an effort. Not only you talk about just doing, she's watching, and she sits in my heart. One of my roommates from college. What's
her name?
Her name is Frida.
Shout out to Frida. What's up, Frida?
Her name is Frida. But to receive a call from her, for her to think enough of me to call me and say, hey, I'm going to be one state over for you, and this is what. I was honored to receive a call.
Wow.
Because she was being honored, and she wanted us to be there. I don't know. She wanted us
Was that
to
in
be
Ohio?
There. It was in Ohio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She wanted us to be there. It was such an honor to know that she was coming there, and we could get there and be there.
That's good to see her face.
Just to see her face and to be a part of her being honored.
That's what's up.
I didn't realize it was support until my sister Tracy told me, "Oh, we going to support," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
You ain't even think about that. Nita E say, "Preach." Listen, that scripture will preach. Okay, that scripture will preach. But what I learned is every business is not for everybody, right? So if someone is not into what you're doing or selling as family and friends, they are not wrong for that. And I know so many people take it personal. I know I used to, like feeling like my family should be at everything or, look out when I do different things. Everything is not for everybody. When you think about food, what if it's food that they don't eat anymore? It's they can donate, but if your food is what they don't, take in, then don't feel bad about that. Party promoting, and then you don't hang out no more. I can't come to your party. I'm not doing that no more. And so you just got to think about, listen, don't look like that. I'm saying these are different things, like, what I'm saying, rap music. You rapping, we 50. I'm not 50. I'm like 41. But I'm just saying, you older and you rapping and you have music and you looking for your family to support you. They might not be into that. They might not be into what you saying or what you talking about. They may not listen to that. Clothing. You got people that started clothing lines. It's on so many t-shirts they probably can wear. Or what you selling, they don't like the saying on it. And so they may not support in that. It's not for everybody.
I will say this. I will say this. I will support you. If it is not against,
I'm saying what's happening.
If it is not against my belief, because I have some friends that their business is something, and it's a food. I don't eat it, but I will give you money.
That's why I said you could donate.
I will support you, and it's not, and they will give it to me, and I will give it away. I will support you.
Yeah.
And I'm not tearing down your business, because I really believe that everyone has their niche.
They do.
And because
they got their audience too.
Yep. And I want to support. And so whether as long as it's not against something I don't believe in, if it's something I don't believe in, then I can't support it. But if it may not be something I like, and if it's not something I like, it doesn't mean I cannot support.
That is true.
That
is definitely true. So I seen a post on Facebook, and this is why I brought this up, this aspect of it, because this guy said, are they your real friends if they don't support you? And so I wrote a long post explaining that they are still your friends. They may just not use or, you know, want to patronize what you have, but there are ways that they can support you. So just think about that. Don't measure what it is. People can still support you in their own way, but don't get mad if what you're doing, people are not supporting. That was the point of, you know, naming these different things, you know, even just like coaching. You know, you may not be the coach that they need. And so it's like, don't look at them like, oh, you ain't my friend, because they're not patronizing your business. So you have, like she said, a niche. You have a group of people that's your village that's here for you. And so we got to think about that. You know, bottom line is everybody won't be into what you have, and it's okay. That's the point.
And even if you're not into what they have, the next person may be into what they have.
Absolutely.
So if that next person, so if I'm not into what you're selling, and it's not against what my belief,
right?
I can tell you, my sister, hey,
yeah, like such and such got that. Yeah.
You know what? It's some clothes over there. I think you might be interested in. May not be my
style,
my preference, but you know, I went into a couple months ago. I was looking for something, and I wandered off into this little shop, hidden little shop, and I walked in. And I was like, oh my goodness, my niece would have a field day here. She would love this stuff. And I was like, okay, let me buy this. Let me buy this. Let me put this back. Let me bring my nieces here, because what I think would be cute on them, they'd be like, nah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I want to support this young lady. Yeah. It's her style. It's for her age group. I want to support her. I want to bring people in. I want to tell the younger people, hey, it's a little shop hidden in this spot that you should go check out.
And that's support. That's still support.
And it's still support. So
Miss Frida said it was such a blessing to have you and Tracy there with me. You both made my weekend during the Ohio event. That is a blessing.
Amazing.
That's a blessing.
Absolutely amazing.
But I believe what you put out will be returned, though, honestly.
Yeah.
And that was effort, just to even think like, oh, let me go. Your effort is, let me go over here. I know my brother might like this. I know my sister might like that. You know, that's still effort, and it's still support. And so we got to be mindful of that. You know, it's important to treat people how you want to be treated, you know, in order to get things reciprocated. In Matthew 7:12, the NIV version, and so in everything, do to others what you will have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. If you are selling something, you should be buying something. That should be a law. If you want it, you do it. Because it just comes right back full circle. When you're supporting somebody, do it from the kindness of your heart. And you will have people coming out of the woodwork that you won't even know. That is the key. To be able to give, it is so much better to give than receive. That is the key. And so once you do that and you have a heart to do that, I believe that God will bless you more than you can even know, more than you can even think. But supporting people, it creates different relationships, different connections. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me one connection that you could think about from you supporting created a lifelong connection with someone.
Wow. Alabama State, I would say Our Voices of Praise. That's a gospel choir that I was in.
Okay.
I was, for some years, I was the president of the gospel choir. But my friends that are on right now, my sisters that are on right now, my brothers that are on right now, those are lifelong friends. When you call their names, Deidre, Tracy, Frida, Paulette, her name hasn't been called, but I know she's here. Fan. Yes. My family is here. These are lifelong friends that I made when I was 17 and 18.
Yeah.
And I can call them. They can call me at any given moment, and we pick up where we left off.
Yeah, that's good.
And it is, I don't believe, when I call you my friend, I don't believe that you are the person that I cannot call at any given time and say I want or I need. And my wants or needs could very well be just listen.
Yeah.
You know, to get a call sometimes while I'm working and just to hear somebody's voice, it's a good thing. It is a wonderful thing.
I did that the other day. My aunt she was on my mind, and I was just thinking about her. And Someone said, call her. And I was like, okay, I'll get to her. You know, I'm going through all my day. Then the next day, someone said, call your aunt. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get to her. Then I went to the gas station and her name just popped in my head. I said, let me call my auntie. Why? Like, what? Listen to the Holy Spirit. Listen. I immediately stopped what I was doing and just called her. So we do need to do a lot more calling to see how we can be of service to our family and our friends. You know, support opens up opportunities for new connections and cultivates strong community. You know, I know certain communities, they keep their money circulating within itself. And I think, you know, we as Black people, we need to do a little better with that. Support leaves a legacy. You know, when you think, you know, she's saying that her family, everybody's always been supportive. And so, I mean, I can't really say too much of seeing that, but I can be that. You know what I'm saying? I just, the change I want to see, that's what I'm doing.
The change can be in you.
Yeah.
The change you want to see, that can be in you.
That's exactly what I'm doing. How much does it cost to support? It's priceless. I believe it's priceless.
Is there a price on support?
Yeah, it could be to some people. What, you know, what would it take for them to support you? Do they have to fly out of town? Do they have to come to you? What would it take? Do they have to, you know, spend $150? Or, like, it can be expensive. It's perspective. But I believe that it's priceless. Seeing people's face at my poetry night and the fun that everyone was having and their faces lit up. People laughing. I mean, good, rich conversations. Being able to see people's faces.
If you don't show up, you won't know it. If you won't know, if you don't show up to support, you miss it. And it's a moment that you cannot get back.
That is true.
It's a moment you can't get back. If somebody has a birthday, show up. Make a phone call.
Yeah.
If somebody is having an event, show up. Be a part of it.
Especially if you RSVP.
Yeah. Well,
nah. Yeah. If you RSVP, you better show up.
Show up.
Or get somebody to fill your spot. People pay for you to come to their event just so you can support, right?
You know, we were having a conversation, a group of us having a conversation, and we were taking a trip back down memory lane. Mm-hmm. And everybody is laughing, joking, and we're just talking about different things that had happened. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that one person, they didn't have anything to say. I didn't say anything to them. But then, you know, days passed, and I said, what was going on? And they said, I was never at those events. Wow.
Oh, yeah. So they don't have any input.
You don't have any input. When people start strolling down memory lane, and if you made a choice not to be a part of those events, when you're at a group setting, a family setting, a friend setting, and you chose not to be there,
you're going to be looking like an outsider.
You're just sitting there smiling at what everybody else is talking about or feeling, unfortunately, left out.
Yeah.
I don't find it hard to support. I don't have a price on being there and being available to support.
Yeah.
I got a lot of phone calls last night. I keep myself on Facebook punishment because I know people get lost in Facebook and it takes you to a certain place. So I posted this on Facebook, and I received a lot of phone calls, and I'm so grateful and humbled by those phone calls. And I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
And some of the people I haven't seen in years, but I called them. I randomly called.
Yeah.
I'm driving down the street.
Mm-hmm.
I see something that I
Remind
think a person
you.
would laugh at, and I have to call them and tell them.
Like, look what I just seen.
Yeah.
That's price. That is pure, though. That right there.
And not to say be riding down the street, see something, and then create a post on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, I think the conversation, hearing their voice, talking to them is more than putting a post on Facebook and getting a lot of likes.
Yeah.
I think it's more intimate, it's more personal. It's another moment that I'm creating with that person.
Right, calling them and hearing their voice. That's real good. There are many ways to support your peers, excuse me, and your family on their endeavors. Kelly has an event coming up we're going to talk about shortly before we end. But think about ways you can support instead of ways that they may not be your cup of tea. Think about ways to support them versus, that's not what I do. That's not what I like. That's not what I wear. Just think about ways to support. There was a question posed. Do you support? Are you supporting your peers, your brothers and sisters, whether you're in a union, whether you're at the church, your actual brothers and sisters, your husband and your wife, your family? Are you supporting? Or are you making excuses why you cannot support? And so I'm encouraging you to change that to be the opposite. It can be a follow on social media or the website, engage with their content, share their business with others, write positive posts, subscribe to whatever outlet they have, donate or sponsor, attend the events, use your skills, purchase product or service, and donate. These are just ways to support. I encourage somebody to start a program up, and I said, you know what? I will come and I will use my skills to help you with your program. And I don't need anything for that. If I know that I can bring my substance or, the God in me to this event, then I would do that because it's what I seen it. I said, once you start, just call me. I got you. And I'm going to have to drive an hour to go do that. But I feel like when you see a need, if you feel it, you would never have a need. God will always provide for you. Once you understand that and you know that God will always provide for you, it will be effortless to support. It will be effortless, to show God's love to any and everybody you come across. One thing I notice is that if you buy from a lot of people and you support without looking for anything in return, like I told you, Acts 20 and 35, in everything I did, I showed you that this kind of hard work, we must help the weak, remembering the words of the Lord Jesus Christ himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. And so when you know that, you make that a part of your lifestyle. This is what we're here for. We're here for each other. I think people have been missing it. This is not a selfish thing. We're here for each other. But once you put that in the forefront of your mind, I am almost certain you will see a shift in your life with the things that you desire, the things that you want. That's a part of seeking the kingdom first. It's a part of loving your brother and sister. So with our time left, I want you to talk about this event. Where did this event come from?
So this event came from my pastor.
Okay.
My pastor, Tellis Chapman, he called my name. He said, Sister Isaac, I need you to do this. And I said, okay. Putting me in a different space, something I'm not used to being in the front of. I am the behind the scenes person. And I had to make this behind the scenes. I need small businesses. I need small businesses on May 17th.
Okay.
I need them here buying a table. I need them at 5251 East Outer Drive, Detroit. I need you to call in and get your tables.
Okay.
Call 313-484-8347. I have a team working with me.
Okay.
We will return the call within 24 hours. Today, when I get home, I am going to post this flyer on my Facebook page. And you can click the QR code and register there. This event.
I'm going to get me a table.
Okay, I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
I want you
there. I want you there. I want small businesses there. I need us to support each other.
Yes.
I need us to come out. I need the small businesses to be there, and then I need us to be there to purchase. If we walking around in all of these designer clothes that the designer clothes, our names are not on them. We can walk around in the clothes that the small businesses are selling. We can buy their lotion, we can buy their butters, we can buy their toilet tissue, we can buy their hair products, we can buy everything from our own community.
Absolutely.
Let's make May 17th the day we shop our own community. Be there to support. If you are a small business owner, please reach out to me. Please reach out so that you can buy your table. Tables are only $100, and the $100 are going to our young people that are going off to HBCU bound students.
Listen, that's huge.
I am a HBCU student. I am an alumni.
Okay.
Alabama State University. That is me.
Okay.
Yes.
So to be supporting somebody like you.
Yes, our pastor, Jackson State. Yes and yes. People on my team, Howard University. So we need you there. Hey, and if anybody is watching that it has Greek paraphernalia, I really need you there. If there is anybody that sells HBCU merchandise, I need you there. So come on out, everybody. We will have food trucks.
Okay.
Jackson 5-Star Catering is one of our food trucks that will be there.
What?
Yep, come and eat.
That's top shelf now.
Yes and yes.
That's
so if
top
you have
shelf.
a food truck, you have a dessert truck, please bring food trucks are $200. So please be there, and we will have activities for the kids, all ages. Yep. So, and we will have a DJ. Yes and yes. So come on out, guys. It's going to be a fun time. Don't miss it.
Who are some of these sponsors?
Who are some of the sponsors?
You want to give them sponsors a shout out?
Our sponsors, very good. Let me pull them up. They are Galilee Missionary Baptist Church. Yes, TJ Chapman Ministries. And Chapel Vision Community Development. Now, Chapel Vision works in the background. They do a lot for the community. Not only sponsor students going off to college, but they work throughout the community. They build, they develop, and they support. So, if you want to get involved in anything supporting the community, I suggest you hook up with them as well.
So not just vendors, but people to shop with the vendors. We need the people to come and shop. This is huge. Like I said,
there is no cost to get in. There is no admission fee.
No admission. Okay.
There will be raffles. We are working on having raffles there.
Okay.
And if you just want to donate money directly to the event for scholarships, we will have QR codes for you to donate and envelopes to drop your cash in or checks in.
Okay. Because it's about supporting.
It's about supporting
HBCU bound students, and we need our young people to get back to going to school. I mean, like, what is going on? Nobody want to go to college.
Well, there's people going, but think of this. When you walk into a doctor's office, you want to see somebody that recognizes you and acknowledges who you are and what you're going through.
Absolutely.
So fund our students so that when we have to choose a doctor, it is someone that understands us inside and out, understands our uniqueness.
Yes.
You know, we are different, and we want doctors, we want lawyers, we want nurses, we want bakers.
Yeah.
We want,
each and every arena.
We want to always be in the arena. Yep, we do.
Absolutely. Well, Kelly, I want to thank you so much for being here. You was nervous, but look how good listen, you're a natural. I'm taking different I'm letting God expand my territory. And that means being in different places. Stepping out the box, okay? So if this is your first time joining, I'm asking that you subscribe to my channel. Again, every week I'm here with something that is motivating, information, empowering, encouraging, information, inspiration. And, you get these good vibes too. And that's important. But I want you guys to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this with your family, your friends. Again, just about support. Support is everything. It goes a long way. I appreciate everyone that has watched, everyone that has supported Kelly. Much love to you.
Yes, much
Thank you
love.
so much for supporting her and loving on her like she love on you. And until next time, we'll see you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about that. Okay?
I love y'all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it.
Peace.